special late night version of Stitchy Tube. It's 9:18. Do you know where your needles are? I know where I am, which is right next to 0. It is Friday, May 8th, 2020. I'm trying to stay inside, away from the murder hornets and away from the coronavirus. And it's good to see you. I thought, I'm sitting here stitching. I get together with a group of stitchers online on Friday nights, and we chat for a couple hours. And they were saying, oh, you better shoot a video. And I was like, I know, I've been thinking about it. I hope this is recording. Is it recording? It seems like it is. And anyway, maybe I'll move this a little closer. I just feel super disconnected from what's going on in the world right now because things here have just been crazy. I went to market, right? So after Christmas, we did all the prep work for market, designs, charting, still shipping orders, you know, just all that stuff. And then market was really great. And I put a market video up so you could see like how crazy it was. And people lost their minds. And I'm talking to other shop owners that too are like, I've never been busier. We have shipped about 4,000 orders since March 7th. So in 2 months and 1 day, it's about 4,000 orders, which is a lot of orders. It's many orders, many orders, many orders. Like, and it's, the days kind of have blurred together. So, you know, after market in March, came home, hit the ground running. Sales were brisk. Katie and Graham hung in there like troopers. And you'll remember that in February, maybe, I had 2 gallbladder attacks. My gallbladder attacked me. And so they wanted to do surgery in February. And I said no, because I had to go to market. And they said, okay, how about April 1st? So I was like, April 1st will be perfect because that'll give me 3 weeks after market to kind of clear out the market orders. Things will be slowing down. And I'll go have surgery and I'll be able to rest for like 5 days. And then it'll be great because we'll just kind of be back to the normal kind of pattern of business. So I had surgery on April 1st. Things had not slowed down. And surgery went great. My gallbladder is gone. In fact, I'm going to show you. I got a gift from a designer friend. And it's these kinds of things that I haven't been able to show you. Oh, I'm going to shut the scale off because we are not weighing anything else today. I did treat myself to a new pair of sweatpants. All of these retailers are having a tough time, so stuff is cheap. My good friend, Beth Twist from Heartstring Samplery, stitched me this. Designed it. G is for gallbladder. She put it in this little frame. And you can actually get this chart if you go to the donation section of my site, Stash for Cash for Cats and Dogs. And it's a $5 download. G is for gallbladder, which it is. And I don't have mine anymore. And she even put it in this frame. And it says, a loving tribute to your faithful green friend, BT. And so for $5 you can download this and the money goes to the animal shelter. So thank you, Beth. It actually just, it sits on my desk. And I think about my poor old gallbladder, which is somewhere else in the world right now. It's kind of weird. Okay. Had my gallbladder out April 1st. April 2nd, started working again. Did I rest? No, I didn't. Of course I didn't. People were like, I sure hope you're taking care of yourself, Teresa. I'm not. I haven't been. I wasn't. I didn't. And when I really needed to crash, because there were times I was so crushingly tired. Easter weekend, I took 5 naps. And I ate rice and water as my Easter meal because my stomach didn't feel good. Kind of had upset stomachs off and on. They put 4 holes in me, and those have healed up. And 2 weeks out, I had to do a phone appointment with my surgeon. And he said, you know, how are you feeling? We did it by phone. So it was FaceTime on my phone, which was cool because I didn't have to drive there and get checked in. It was safe. So he was like, how you doing? I'm fine. How's your lack of gallbladder? It's great. And he said, okay, lift your shirt up and show me your stomach. And I was like, lift my what up and do what now? Never have I ever Never have I ever. You will not come across. I'm just worried now there's some kind of electronic version of me with my shirt up. He was like, oh, it looks good. You know, that incision looks like it opened up a little bit, but you should be good. So anyway, I had surgery on the 1st, which was a Wednesday. On the 2nd, I went back to work. On Friday, our governor announced, you guys all have to stay home. Don't visit your relatives. Don't leave your house. So I told Katie and Graham, I was kind of felt like it's not going to matter. They just live in their apartments. But I was like, you know what? We need to not spread COVID. So I sent them home, and I paid them a salary. So I paid them their regular wage so that they didn't have to worry about bills. And I ran the business by myself for 3 weeks. And I think we had it was like 15 or 1,600 orders in those 3 weeks. I was running 3 or 4 days behind, which I felt terrible about because we like to get things out very quickly. People were super cool about it. But by the time they came back, I was so happy to see them. And I was tired. And so that was a week and a half ago that they finally came back. And so we've still been, now things have started to subside a little bit to where it feels more normal. I can't even tell you how much yardage of fabric we've gone through. It has been a crazy amount of fabric. And of course, all the fabric dyers like Picture This Plus, Weeks Dye Works has been kind of hanging in there. I got a huge box from them yesterday. But, you know, the fibers are hand-dyed, the fabrics are hand-dyed. So everybody's like, we are so busy. And I'm getting stuff in as fast as I can. So I've supplemented with a lot of Zweigert just commercial linens. And we've kept a pretty good stock of fabric available. And you know how when the COVID thing started, people were buying toilet paper and bleach, right? And hand sanitizer. And then people were buying puzzles. And then people were buying hair color and trimmers. Well, in the stitching community, it was kind of like a lot of charts. And then it was like kind of a lot of quarter yards of fabric. Then it was half yards of fabric. Then it was full yards of fabric. People were buying full yards of fabric. And now this week it's been needles. And the fabric is still brisk. It's very much fabric is going out the door. So you guys must be stitching like crazy. I have not been because I've been working. And I get emails from people. Lovely. You guys are like the best checking on me and people emailing and saying, I sure hope you're taking care of yourself. We miss you. But don't feel, no pressure, but I do feel this pressure, that to say hi and check in and spend time with you guys. And so, I've started to hurt, right? I went and saw my rheumatologist. He gave me something to help with the pain, but just everywhere, just my legs hurt, my arms hurt, my bones hurt. Everything was hurting. So kind of dragging, really stiff. I haven't been able to go to my masseuse for about 2 months because he didn't want to do it in April anyway due to my surgery. So he just said, we just don't want to have you catch something, or not that his place is dirty. He just wanted to be safe. So I called him and I was like, hey, when are you opening? And he was like, call me again on the 15th and we'll see what's going on. So I'm like, on the Wizard of Oz where the Tin Man is like, oil can. That's kind of what I feel like. That my just joints are achy and it's too much work, not enough sleep, too much stress, and not bad stress, not like people are yelling at me or bad things are happening. Like, it's all good things happening. It's just that there's so much of it. Lots of questions. People, need help. People just want to check in and say hi. So it's just things like email and printing invoices and packing orders and ordering shipping supplies. And I ran out of zero stickers, so we got to get some more zero stickers. And it's all good. It's great. It's fantastic. And I'm so tired. So the kids have been encouraging me to take a time off. And so tonight is starting my staycation. And it's all I ever wanted. I'm a homebody. I don't love to travel. And they don't want you to do it now anyway. So I'm going to stay at home and stitch and craft and take a nap and cook, like make meals instead of just making popcorn and having that be my dinner. And just really just like take a deep breath and just relax and not worry about it. Now, I probably will still answer some of the emails that come in. And of course, when Katie and Graham are here packing orders, if they have questions, I will help. But things are under control and products are still rolling in. I got a box from Lone Elm Lane yesterday that is the size of, it's the size of this chair essentially, full of shaker boxes and pin cushions, and I got some of them up, but not all. We're working on adding the Weeks Dye Works line to the website. It's just great. People are in a good mood for the most part. The Gentle Art was closed all of April, so I have 71 of colors that are out of stock right now. But I have a lot in stock also. Classic Colorworks is staying right in there, and I got a big box of fabric this week from Color and Cotton. So things are coming in. People are happy. The designers are happy. The manufacturers and makers are happy, but everybody's very, very busy. And it's just it's really nice. It's really nice. We're probably one of the only, I mean, not one of the only, I'm sure it just seems like it was like the perfect storm of market kind of falling at a time when people have this humongously renewed interest in cross stitch. And then to have everybody be ordered to sit at home. I mean, it's like a perfect conditions for stitching shops and the people who are, make designs and make fabric and threads and things, right, Zero? And stitchers too, because what else? I mean, I would have loved to have just had, I'm not going to put a silver icing on a black cake, but to get uninterrupted time to just craft and do things that you want to do, which is what my week is going to be. And I was so happy today. I was so happy today. I thought about making videos a few times, and there were days my mom was like, "Oh, you don't get angry, do you?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't get angry, but my temper gets short. I get frustrated. It's more of like frustration, where it's just like, just little things where it's like something small goes wrong, like you drop something and it's like, nothing's going right. And it's not that important, but it's just when there's just too much noise in your head, you really can feel like the pressure weighing in on you. So thank you to those of you who have checked on me. Thank you to those of you who are supporting my business. We have gone through some stuff here. We had the new Barb and Alma re-released 4 Blackbird design books, and then one before that. So there were 5 old books that you couldn't get anymore that now have been re-released. And the second batch, I got like 1,200 of those, and most of those are gone. Now I think I had to reorder summer, winter, spring, but I mean, it's all in stock. Anyway, and that all hit like when I was home alone. I mean, not alone. Steve was here, but I mean, running the business by myself. So anyway, that's all boring shop talk. Things are busy. Things are good. I'm happy. I'm happy that you're happy. I'm happy that you're excited about fabric and designs, and there's just a lot of joy in the middle of this just really tricky time in the world. So I hope you all are staying healthy and happy. I thought I would sit with you and stitch for a while at the start of my week. I intended to do Stitch Mania, and I started, what piece did I start? I don't remember. I'll think of it. And then I started Walter, which is Nicola Parkman's Hands Across the Seas and Thomas sampler, which is this one here. And this is available. It's not even new. It came out last year. And it was very, very popular when it came out, partially because it's, there really aren't specialty stitches. The verse is over 1, but other than that, it's mainly cross stitch, and you could, just do something else in that area. But anyway, people ask me, like, at market, what was your favorite thing that you saw at market? I got that question a lot, and honestly, Walther was one of them because he just glows. And so I treated myself. I dug through my Ziploc baggie of silks to see what I had, and I had 10 of them maybe. And the list is pretty long. It's pretty long list of Veriswa. And I personally don't care for the 103, stitching with the 103. And I maybe just haven't done enough of it yet. I don't work in a hoop, and I don't find that it's easy for me to use my sewing the way I stitch it's not as easy for me to do that kind of stitching. But I love a Veriswa. So I treated myself to the Veriswa, and I started in the middle with Walter because he's going to keep me company while I stitch. And I think he's turning out really nice. I'm very glad I'm doing it in the silks. The fabric is a piece of fabric I dyed, and the color name is Rucksack. And I'm hoping I can have time this summer to dye some fabric again. Graham is dyeing fabric still, and he's getting so good that last week he dyed a batch, and I was like, these 2 pieces belong to me. I will pay you for them, but they're not leaving this house. He's doing a great job. So, this is what I've been working on. I wish I could remember what that other piece was. I pulled out about 30 things, and maybe I'll just kind of keep those out and once in a while start a new one and maybe not feel pressured to do it all in May, because who knows what May will bring. Things have been busy. They continue to be busy. Cats are happy. So Grumpy will come in and she likes to try to like act like she's, I can't find it comfortable. She wants me to uncross my legs. I don't want to tonight. Grumpy, you're going to have to figure out a way to be comfy. And 4, 4. So this one actually is super fun to stitch. I love the colors. They're not colors I would necessarily, you know, if somebody said, you know, pick out a bunch of colors for a sampler, there are some colors in here that I probably would overlook because some of them are quite, you can see these here are very, very pretty and muted and soft. But there are some pretty bright, the blue, look at this blue. It's a bright blue. So I got a bunch of the silks from 123 Stitch because they had them online and they were pretty easy to order. And it didn't take that long to get them in. I think it was like maybe 10 days. But there was, I think there was one that they were out of stock. And then I botched my list and there were 2 or 3 others that I missed when I placed my order. Or I don't know if I didn't click it right or whatever. So I found a couple more of those yesterday and those are on the way and I have to just find the last 2. And then my set will be complete, Grumpy. My set of silks will be complete. It's very exciting for cats. I'm going to see if I can bump this up. I don't want to like blind you guys, but I also need light because I'm old and crotchety. And I think crotchety is kind of a funny word. I'm going to just leave it at that. I'm going to leave it at that. So I felt super happy today because I just was on the brink of just taking a break, which is a good thing to do. And I'm hoping to catch up with FlossTube. I haven't really had time to watch any. You know, I made my video, my last one was my market video, and I released that not actually that long ago. It was like 5 weeks ago. And that was a long 5 weeks since then. It seems like a long time ago, and also not that long ago. And so that's my market video. So if you haven't watched it, you can see all the kind of the fun that goes on at market. So, I mean, it's been long enough since market that I got a new batch of designs today from Plum Street Samplers, and I have some on the way from Heartstring Samplery, and who else had new things coming out? I have some on the way from France, from Reflect de Soie, and I got a really cool sampler this week from Lindsay Lane that is called Pour ta fête, which means for your party, and it's a big sampler with lots of red in it. It's long, it's horizontal, and it's very long and narrow. I like samplers like that. I have one in my pile to start by Queenstown, by Samplers Not Forgotten, BG, what's it called? Like BG 1831 or something like that. That one would be cool to start. Wouldn't it, Grumpy? That one's really neat. It's kind of like 2 samplers joined together. And it's long and skinny, like short but fat. 343. What else has been going on? Mother's Day is Sunday, so happy Mother's Day to those of you who are mothers. And this will be my first Mother's Day with no Harrison here, so that'll be a little bit sad. And I don't know if we plan on getting together or not. Graham's plans have changed slightly. He is going to move back home this summer for a little bit. His friend that he was going to move to Kansas with is supposed to get a physical so that he can join the Topeka Police Department. And the physical was supposed to happen shortly, but because of COVID, it's been moved to like late this year, and then he wouldn't be able to start until maybe January. Their lease is up mid-July, so Graham's going to move back home. His friend is going to move back with his dad probably. And so that's great for me because I like my kids. And it'll be nice to have him be home all the time. I can feed him, and I will lose Katie probably. She may leave with Graham's friend. So that's going to not be great. She sure has picked up what we're doing here very quickly. She started in January and then came market, and she has just been a trooper. And she's very methodical, and she catches typos on my listings. And she's getting good enough, and she had no idea really what I did until she started working for me. And she doesn't stitch at all, but she thinks things are cute. Like things come in that she'll say, "Oh, I like that," and I've offered to teach her, but I don't know that she's super interested. But like we got an X Jude Designs fabric shipment this week, 2 days ago maybe. And when we were pulling orders today, she goes, "Oh, this baby sheep came in pinker last time. It doesn't look quite as pink this time." And I said, "Yeah, I agree." And I just think it's funny that already she's like noticing things like that. The kids both have a really good work ethic, and they like to make sure things are done the right way. So we really try not to make mistakes. Did we make mistakes? Yes, we did. Because in 4,000 orders, it's easy to grab the charts that have almost the same name and put the wrong sticker on the wrong package. And, you know, we made a few mistakes. We always fix them. I think it's sad and too bad sometimes, because sometimes I get emails from people that say, "Hey, there was a mistake with my order. I guess, you know, like you forgot something in my order. I guess I just don't get it." And it's like, no, you paid for it. Of course we're going to send it. Of course we're going to send it. And sometimes people are almost expecting an argument when they email. You can tell that they're kind of ready to like speak their case. And I'm like, "Hey, you don't have to prove that we made a mistake. I believe you." Sometimes I can say, "I remember packing that order and you are absolutely right. I did put the wrong chart in there." And we just fix it. So that's just how we like to do business. Fix the problems. There are problems with shipping overseas just right now because things are kind of bogged down. But, you know, because I work at home, like I said, I do feel very disconnected from what is going on right now because my life has not really changed much. Before this, I only really got gas once a month because I just don't go out that much. And when I did finally have to get gas here, it was like 2 weeks ago, it got down to $1 even here in Hattiesburg. $1, 100. Like they almost had to just take the one down. That's crazy. And I was like, what kind of containers can we get to stock up on $1 gas? So we put gas in my car. I'm going to just throw that on the floor like I used to. I forgot what side of the car my gas tank was on. Like that's how long it had been since I put gas in my car. Because I just work at home and ship orders, which is great. Great fun. It is great fun. I really, you might think it's weird, but I have people offer, and like even Jen, my friend Jen from Jen's Stitching a Niche, used to come every Wednesday and help me pack orders, and she loved it, and she was good at it too. And I mean, she's obviously good at it because she has her Etsy shop now, and she packs tons of orders. And packing orders is actually fun. I like seeing what people picked out. Sometimes I will put a note, good choices, or I love all of these, or pretty fabric. It's really fun to see everybody has a different personality. You know, some people it's like, okay, they're ordering, you know, like today I think we got an order. There was one order for one sampler thread. And that's it. And the kids will say, who on earth would just order one thread? And I'm like, I ordered one thread. I was working on Hannah Pepper earlier this year, and I misplaced one of the skeins of silk, and I just went to 1, 2, 3 Stitch, and I ordered one skein. That's all I needed. And then sometimes we get a 4-page order, and it's mixes of, you know, threads and fabrics and charts. Sometimes people get, you know, a pile of charts all from one designer. Sometimes people get, you know, a whole bunch of new stuff in the new section. And so it's just fun. We had a week where it's almost like people were playing hide and seek on my website, where it's like, oh my gosh, we haven't sold one of these forever. Where it's like people were in all the nooks and crannies finding the interesting stuff. I don't know. But it's fun to pack orders. It is truly fun to pack orders. Today we had to come up with a creative way to send somebody 17-inch Q-snaps because we didn't have a box that was big enough that wouldn't have been gigantic. So we ended up like fusing several bubble mailers together, and I don't know, we laughed about it, and it was kind of funny, and we got it sent out, and it was all good. So it really is a good time working with the kids too. It's fun to have employees. It's something that's new to me. I never had employees before. Like I said, Jen used to come, and that was always something I looked forward to. But otherwise, it was just kind of lonely old me in my shop. The difference is that, you know, I used to, in even my busiest days before, I think in a week, I typically shipped out about 100 packages a week. So that's like, 20 orders a day. And that, you know, kept me busy, and I had a little store, and, you know, I made a living. I wasn't rolling in it, but it was okay. And now on, you know, we can have a day where 400 come in, or we can have a day, you know, like we had a day this week where it was, oh, we only have 79 today. And that felt like a kind of a quiet day. Like, oh, no problem. We'll knock this out. Okay, what did I do? I'm going to leave it. 1, 2, 3. I put one stitch in the wrong place, but it's going to be fine. Walter doesn't care. It's not on Walter. It's just the leaf. And the leaf don't care. But packing orders is fun. It's fun to see what people get. And, you know, like sometimes people will order a whole pile of silks, and it's like, oh, this is all so beautiful. They're going to love it when they open this. Today we sent a package to Taiwan. And I said to Katie, I said, just think the next time somebody touches this thing I'm touching, it will be in Taiwan. She goes, it's going to Taiwan? I was like, yeah, it's crazy. And I said, this air from Mississippi is going to travel all the way across the ocean to Taiwan. It's amazing. It's amazing. Isn't it, Grumpy? Are you amazed? She's not that amazed. She's not that amazed. Okay, so then I go up one and in one. But I got to go in 2 because I made that mistake. 6. I'll just do 6. What else? Some people have asked how Harrison is doing in Denver. He's doing great. He's kind of bummed because he's at, you know, kind of a expensive school, and it's a good school, but they had to do this quarter remotely. So he was kind of bummed that, you know, he wasn't getting to be in class, and he said it's weird to do class where it's just real loosey-goosey and stuff is, you know, kind of online for you to access. And then he was supposed to start counseling people. Earlier this year, he was working at a children's school, and then he was supposed to start having actual clients, and so that has all moved online also. And he said it actually isn't that bad. And I have a personal counselor that I typically see every 2 weeks or so, and so mine have been also by phone. instead of, not video, which is fine. I'm fine with talking on the phone. I don't mind it. And I said, you know, it's kind of weird to do it this way. And he said, actually, you know, the talk in the community is that some of this may not go away. That 1, 2, 3. Some people really prefer having their appointment not in person. You know, like maybe they're anxious to drive, or they're anxious to go outside. Or they even just, if they don't, you know, it's hard for them to get time off of work to go. It really is amazing how much time it saves. Typically my appointments are about an hour, but it saves me an hour in the car. It's about, you know, 22 minutes there, 22 minutes back, but then I also have to, you know, go get checked in, and this way they just send me a bill, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 40 count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which I think I'm going to need to bump up a half a size on my cheaters. I'm kind of bummed because the ones that I have, I've typically gotten at Sam's, and they're cheap. I have my prescription ones, which work really great, but the glasses that I got don't stay on my face. They're too wide, and so I can use them to read in bed, but they're not great for stitching because they slip down my nose. Do I go all the way over? Where am I? Oh, I went all the way up there. Where am I, guys? That is so weird. Like, I just totally lost my train of where I was. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there I am. Okay. I gotcha. Oh, that's where I am. Okay. So I needed to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I just needed to do 4. That's what. I'm going to fix this one, guys. I do fix them sometimes. I just lost my place on the page. What was I saying? Oh, so anyway, so some of the, you know, some of the counselors are going to start to just do appointments on the phone, which is cool. Which is cool. I came up with a cool thread drop thing when I working on this project, because I like to make thread drops to work on my projects and keep my threads organized, because the Veriswa comes... Grumpy, you can stay. This is one of my lovely Vana designed... I mean, I stitched it, but it's Vana's tutorial. I really like it. It's a Tim Holtz fabric. So, like, see, this is one of those bright colors. It's kind of a corally pink. But so a Veriswa comes like this, and I find that when I pull it like this, it ends up in a huge knot. And there may be a way to do it, whatever. I don't do it. I just, I take the thing off, and I run the thread around my arm, and then I just do the little loopy thing on these. So I make these thread drops, and I put the name of the thread on it, and I like to sometimes put the symbol with the thing, you know, the symbol of that is on the chart. I like to put the symbol on the thread drop, but then the next time you use it, it's not going to be the right symbol. So I had the idea, so you can stay here. This is Post-it tape, which I think I've talked about in my videos before. I just cut a little square. So I basically cut a little strip and then cut it in half. And then I put it on here, and then when you don't want it anymore, it just peels right off because it's Post-it note material. And you could probably do it with just Post-it notes, you know what I mean? And just use the tab at the top where it's sticky. Okay, sorry, sweetie. I know, it's just not fun to be sitting with me. Oh, it is fun. Oh, she's snuggling in. She loves me. Do you love me? She does love me. Let's tip this down. Can I tip it? Oh, it might be tipped as far as it'll go. Oh no, are you gonna go? Don't go. Don't go. Don't go. So that's what I'm doing with these. And I have to get a ring for them. I've got rings in my top drawer back there, but I just haven't done it yet. I just keep throwing them in my thing. But oh, so the cheaters. I feel like I need a half size up. And I get these at Sam's, and they're like $4 a pair, and they're perfect because they're really lightweight, and I can use them as a headband. My problem is right now that I don't, like, I can see my computer right now fine, but if I get closer, it all goes blurry. So I need glasses to see the computer. I need glasses to see my stitching. I need glasses to read invoices. I can't clip my nails without glasses anymore. My toenails I might be able to because they're far enough away. But I need to go see the optometrist and see what he can come up with me, because my other vision is 20/20. But near, it's not. I don't see well anymore, and the things I need to see are very small. So I think I need to go back whenever they reopen. I need a haircut also, don't we all? But you know what? It's just hair. It is just hair. If I get too frustrated enough, I'll just start whacking at it, because I don't have a problem with that. Okay, 4, 4, and then 1, and then 2. Sometimes I say it out loud, and then I remember the pattern. So yeah, I'm just not seeing. The 40 count is fine. I do better on a higher if I bump my light up to brighter, but then you guys, I'll be all washed out. You don't want to look at a washed out lady. She was washed out. I guess I haven't done a hang with me video for a long time. They're kind of fun to do because there's just no prep work. I just made a spur of the moment decision to start it up. I thought as long as I was sitting here, and you guys don't care that I'm in my PJs mostly. You don't. That's why you're excellent people. Plans going out this year, who knows what's going to happen. I mean, a lot of people are saying this COVID thing could kind of go up and down. But I think it's, you know, I'm very, very lucky. We are lucky. My husband is a professor at the university, and so he taught his classes online, which he actually really enjoyed. And, you know, we have job security. You know, I run things here, and because I run out of my house, my overhead for right now is very low. You know, I do have employees, and I want to make sure to take care of them. Harrison is a student, and Graham works for me. So it's, you know, I feel like we're very lucky in that we don't have to worry about where our next meal is coming from. I kind of had a cool idea, and I think I may do it here. Maybe this week, now that I have this week off. But I was going to count my whips and then donate an item to the food pantry for every whip. So if you think that's kind of a cool idea, you know, or donate a can of food to the animal shelter or whatever, I think I'm going to do that. Because I worry about people getting enough food to eat. I have had times where I did not have enough food to eat. And that's hard. That's hard when your stomach is rumbly and you don't have any way to fix that. So I did call Doug, the guy who's one of the 2 partners that's building my potential shop location, to see if they were still planning on going forward with that. Because I thought, well, maybe now with COVID, they're kind of rethinking that a lot of these little businesses may go under and that it might not be a great time to build a little strip of shops. And he said, no, we're still going. He said, it seems like you're very interested. And he said, we have 2 other parties that are also very interested. One of them wants 2 of the spots. And because I'm interested early, he said, the plans are drawn. He said, you know, we can meet once the builder, right now they're finishing up with the builder's bids. And so once they choose a builder, then they'll be able to sit down with me and we can kind of lay out the shop and see what we want. And he said, you know, you kind of basically get like you know, there's going to be a bathroom, but he said, as far as like, if you need walls and things, we need to talk about, you know, what that might be. And I said, really what I need mostly is just a big room and a bathroom for the most part. I'd like to stay pretty flexible as far as how the room is set up, and I can always get partitions and things like that to hide like shipping supplies and stuff like that. So we'll take a look at it and see, but it's going to be about 1,000 square feet, which is plenty. And I'm excited about the prospect of that. I realize that it may not happen. If things kind of take a downturn and it seems like, oh, okay, this business is going to business retracts considerably, and it's, then maybe it's just like, you know what, I'm just going to keep working at home for now. But if it stays busy like it's been, I have to get a shop so I can have more employees. Otherwise, it's just me working until I've worked till midnight. You know what I mean? Sometimes I look up and it's like, oh, it's 11:07. I probably should go to bed. And there's still emails to answer, and there's still invoices to print, and there's still checks to write, and orders to place, and it's kind of an unending amount of work that I could do. So it would be nice to have a team of employees to help me, so that the more help I have, the more I can do things like make videos and design things and, stuff like that. Stuff that I like to do that I should be doing. Somebody who's a small business owner here told me once, he said, when you manage a business, you need to work on your business, not in your business. So he would say it doesn't make sense, Teresa, for you to be packing orders when you could be, expanding your product lines, or, designing charts, or, putting new ideas together. And I agree, because packing orders is very teachable. Katie learned within 10 days, she was like doing it. Not even 10 days. Really, that first week, once she kind of, we kind of followed her around and showed her how to do it and stuff. And then she got super familiar with it very, very quickly. We have 4,700 products now, and she packs orders no problem. And she doesn't know anything about stitching, but she does now. Now she's like, knows the designers, and it's very funny. So we'll see. We'll see what the future holds. I'm open to it, whatever it is going to be. So 7, 8, 9. This is a sideways U. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, I really need more light. 6, 7. 8, 9. All right. I may have to turn that up. That's funny. My poor eyeballs. Is that gonna, you know what? You guys can deal with it, right? Deal. Maybe I'll just sit. Oh, if I sit more like that, that's better. Grumpy, it's your fault I'm not stitching well. It is your fault. Hopefully I'm in the right holes. It's funny to talk sometimes to people where they're like, oh, okay, what kind of needlework is that? Is it like knitting or like quilting? No, it's counted cross stitch. People don't really understand. It's stand, like, oh, so it's stamped on there? No, it's literally counted. You literally count threads to see where to put your stitches. And they're like, you are crazy. Yes, I am. We all are crazy. I think it's nice that we have kind of stitching to turn to in times like this, where there's so much uncertainty and fear and hardship, and just not really knowing what's coming. And I notice, you guys, it's almost like the stitching community is on the same wavelength, and some of it is probably social media driven, where it's like, oh, I'm selling a lot of needles this week because so-and-so talked about something needles, and that's why, that's why it's selling all of a sudden. And I think, though, not driven maybe by social media as much, although it probably is too, is just that the mood. So, like, there's excitement. There's weeks where there's just a lot of excitement. There are weeks where I can just feel the angst. Not angst, but like the nervousness and the worry. And, people are just really not sure about things. And people will even say, I'm having a tough time right now. This is very scary to me. And I think it's good to talk about stuff like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because we all feel it. And, to pretend that you don't when you do is not the truth. And the people around us want to know when we're having a tough time so that they can be supportive. You would want to be supportive, right, of somebody that was having a tough time. So I think it's good. It's good to let each other know. One of the things that I felt kind of upset about myself a couple weeks ago was I started hearing, and like I said, I've been disconnected from FlossTube, and I feel bad when I am, because I feel like people might think, oh, she doesn't watch me anymore, or I would love to sit and watch. That's what I'm going to do this week, is catch up on my FlossTube. But I miss you. I miss you. But I hear through the grapevine, like, oh, so-and-so was complaining on her video that blah, 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 and people are saying, you know, this is taking oh, this shop, it took 3 weeks to get her order. And there's a lot of pressure now on shops that didn't used to be there. And designers too, because social media is a great driver of interest, where it's like, oh, I didn't know about 56 count linen. I never even stocked linen like that. And now we sell it by the half yard in the yard. People buy lots of it. I have to keep jiggling this so I can see my beautiful face. But when you have a business, all of a sudden, bad reviews are a real thing, and they can happen right now. Right now, someone can Instagram or Facebook or YouTube and complain about an order that they got. So there's pressure to do a good job and be fair, which I would want to do anyway. But it's just that sometimes you don't know when a customer has a bad experience and they didn't tell you about it, and they didn't let you know that you messed something up, or that the package took longer to get there. Like right now, I think I have 2 packages or 3 packages that customers that should have received them, and they got held up, and then the post office says like, oh, it's on its way to the final destination. And I always replace it. If something goes missing entirely, I always send it. But then you don't know if that customer feels like, oh, I had a bad experience because the package came so long, and there isn't anything I could do about it. But, and even sometimes what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of anxiety as far as like making sure that you're doing a good job, and that you don't get, I'm going to use the word attacked, but I don't mean it that somebody's being vindictive or like not fair. It can feel like that. It can feel like that. But that people might be making complaints very publicly, and you might not even know about it or see it. And so then you don't have a way to respond to it. And even if you do respond, I feel like if somebody makes a complaint and then the other party tries to explain their side of it, I feel like people tend to believe the complaint. So I feel like for sure, if anyone has a bad experience with me, I would want them to email me first and let me try to fix it. And I do that. I had somebody today who received a product, and there was something about it that she didn't like, that she wished had been different. And I just took care of it. And she was very happy. She was very happy. And I was happy. And I told her, I said, thank you for letting me know that you weren't happy with this product. It was not something I created. It was something that I buy from somebody else, and it just didn't meet her expectations. And so then we both ended up happy. Now, she could have kept it to herself and then complained about it to a friend, but now I have 2 people that don't like what I'm doing, and I didn't have a chance to try to fix it. So I think it's good, like if you have a problem with a retailer or a restaurant or whatever, to at least give a place the opportunity to make things right when things didn't go quite the way you wanted them to go. And do understand also, especially right now, if your orders from other stores or me, because like I said, sometimes we run behind a few days. Sometimes our website will let people buy like one more of something than we actually have. And then I have to call someone and say, oh my gosh, we are out. I have more on order, but it might be a couple weeks. And, things like that happen. So if you place an order with a store, I think it is proper to expect, communication and friendliness. But just know that the retailers right now and the supply companies, so like the thread companies and the fabric companies, are working around the clock trying to meet the tremendous demand. And just really a couple years ago, this industry was in a much different place. And so people are trying to put things in place to be able to serve customers quicker and better. And I think people are, you know, kind of used to Amazon shipping. And so it's I don't know. I'm not trying to tell you guys what to do. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm saying just give shops a chance. If they're a little slow, there's probably a reason for that. If it's kind of chronic, maybe not. I personally never mind waiting for something. And in fact, when I place orders with my suppliers, a couple of times even since fabric, I have sent email orders and it says, I'm a very patient person. So if you know this is going to take a month or two, I'm happy to wait because your product is worth the wait. And that's how I usually feel when I order something. Like if my silks from 123 Stitch hadn't come for a couple of weeks, I for sure would have had other projects to work on. And as long as I felt like it was going to come, and if I emailed them and said, you know, when will it be there? If they emailed me back and told me that, that would be enough for me. I just know that like those public criticisms, I guess, really are hurtful to people. And I'm not speaking for myself. I'm just saying that I would be, I don't know, I hope I'm not getting too controversial. I would be hurt if somebody made a complaint on the internet about me before giving me a chance to either fix it, explain it, or, you know, rectify it in some way. I think that's that's how I would want to be treated, and that's how I try to treat others. And don't worry about things like supply, because I know there has been a lot of anxiety, and I think it's part of why we've been selling so much fabric is people are like, oh my gosh, fabric's not going to be available. I heard blah, blah, blah. I heard this company's closed. I heard they don't know when they're going to reopen. I heard, you know, base fabric or base thread is going to be hard to get a hold of. Some of that may be true. Some of that may be true. I will tell you right now, when I'm placing orders, I am not hearing from my suppliers, we won't be able to fill this for 6 months or 8 months or 10 months or a year, or we don't know when we'll have base again. I have not heard that one time. I placed an order with Classic Colorworks recently for more Kringles thread packs, and it was a lot of thread, and I got it pretty quickly, and oh, I hope I didn't make a mistake. Did I make a mistake? That's fine. I think talking to you guys is bad for my stitching. 1, 2, 3. What did I do? I don't even know. 1. Yeah, I think that's... Oh, I see. I just put that in the wrong spot. I'm going to take this out too. You guys are seeing like historic footage of me fixing problems. So I don't see a future of shortages right now. That's not going to... I don't see that. Designs for sure not, obviously, because most of those, like from American designers, are printed in America. And, you know, as far as base fabric and things, the thing that I am hearing is your order is going to take a while because we are so busy that we can't XYZ fast enough. And some people, too, are working with just shorter staff than they would. Oh, I did do that right. Did I just take that out and I didn't have to? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put that back in. 1, 2, 3, 4. I made a mistake about making mistakes. That's a double mistake. I made a mistake so badly that it wasn't actually a mistake. So don't feel worried about if you'll be able to get, you know, silks or cottons or don't worry yet. I would say don't worry yet, because it's not a problem yet. Things are still coming in. So what did I do there then? That might have been a mistake. I'm going to just keep stitching. Just keep stitching. might have to adjust this though. This is unfortunate. When I see this leaf, I'm going to think of you guys. I shouldn't have made a video. I totally messed that leaf up. That leaf next to Walter. 1, 2. Yeah, okay, so I'm just going to adjust. You just make adjustments. You just adjust. Adjust accordingly. Do not adjust your TV. Adjust your stitching. Right, Zero? Okay. Did I finish that leaf? I feel like I did. The bummer is, I think that looks like it's supposed to look for the most part. The bummer is that some of the colors I'm out of are the ones that are smack dab in the middle of Walter. His eye is in place. So that's important because my husband hates it when I stitch things but leave the eyes out. He always makes me fill the eyes in because it freaks him out for them to be eyeball-less. So I'll just wait for those silks to come in. So I can't really, I won't be able to complete Walter. Complete him. But I think he's looking really, really cute. Yeah. Could make a Walter shirt. He's very handsome. He's very pretty, Zero. We have the birds in our backyard again. I picked up the wrong kind of seed. I was at Sam's Club, and you know, you hate to just do too much running because, you know, they're putting limitations on what you can do. So I stopped at Sam's and I got birdseed there, and it was really, didn't have like peanuts and fruit and stuff in it. It was just mainly just like tiny, like millet and little black sunflower seeds, which the cardinals love, and the doves seem to like them, and the blue jays like them, and the squirrels still come to eat, and we have the 2 possums living under our deck, which is delightful. So I threw them an apple last week. We see a lot of wildlife in the backyard, which is fun. The cats watch them sometimes, and the birds are very singy right now. So even on those nights where I don't get done with work until like late, at like 5:30 in the morning, those birds that I'm feeding are like, woohoo! Life is good. We have so much seed back here. This lady. And I wake up. And it's like, oh, I could have used 1 more hour. Because as it is, like, I have had nights the last couple weeks where I have awakened in the middle of the night to think about how tired I am and sore I am. And then I go back to sleep. So I wake up, I go, oh, I'm so tired and sore. So this week is going to do me good. Last weekend, I will say, I took most of Saturday off. I made some phone calls on Saturday. And then Sunday, I did not come in this office because it's hard not to work when I come in here. And Monday, I felt so much better. Like physically, I just felt better. So I think this week is going to be just what the doctor ordered. Just what the doctor did not order. He didn't order it, but I'm ordering it. And I told Graham today, I said, you know, other people can tell me I need a break, but the person I listen to the most is myself. So when I need a break and I say, Treese, enough is enough, you need a break, then I say, okay, I will do that. I don't even know how long I've been blabbing at you guys. Oh, it's been, look at just under an hour. That's pretty much perfect. So maybe I'll make a few of these this week. Who knows? They're very easy to post. And they're pretty easy to do. I'm hoping maybe I can shoot a real stitchy tube soon with a, you know, list of 10 and some what I'm all into. I will say one thing that I'm all into lately is the word jeepers, which I don't know where that came from, where I heard it. I've been using the word jeepers a lot. Katie will go like, look at this invoice. They got 9 different fabrics, and I'll say jeepers. It's not a word that I historically have used very much, so it's a word I'm all into right now. What else am I into, Zero? I'm into you. I'm into, I got an amazing blanket. And I've been looking for the right kind of blanket. We have a king-size bed, and I like heavy blankets. And I have a weighted blanket that I use sometimes. My sister got me. It's not the size of the whole king-size bed. That would be tremendously expensive and very heavy. But I wanted like a weighty blanket that the cats wouldn't muck up too much. I wanted it to look like my aesthetic, I guess, that I like. Muted and, you know, earthy. And I wanted weight, but not too, like, stifling, like too... You want to smell my fingers? He's really dumb. Oh, he's being nice. You're being nice, aren't ya? Yeah. I wanted something that was going to be heavy, but not, because summer's coming, so I wanted something light. And Pottery Barn was having a sale, and I might see if they pick up another one before they don't make them anymore. I think it's all linen, or it's linen and cotton, but it's just what I wanted. Just what I wanted. And it wasn't too bad because it's a big, big, big blanket. I mean, if I had to, like, buy fabric and make one, which I wouldn't make it as nice as that one was. I think I paid, like, maybe $140 for it. But I've already had to wash it a few times. Not naming any names. About hairballs on the new blanket. Spring. Spring is, April showers bring May flowers, and May flowers bring hairballs. So I got that blanket, and I'm all into that blanket. It's perfect, and it washed up great. Because part of the problem is when you have a king-size bed and you have a comforter. I'm not into duvets. I'm sorry. I think the idea of a duvet is really cool. But they look nice when they're clean and freshly put on, and then they get all shifty and, you know. So, and then if you have too big of a comforter, you can't wash it in your own washing machine. And then you have to take it somewhere to wash it or pay someone to wash it. And it just seems like too much work. I'd rather be able to just wash it at home if there's a crazy hairball in the night or the day. Throw it in the washing machine, throw it in the dryer, and you're good to go. Is there anything else I'm all into? Not really. I'm into sitting down. I told Beth Twist at Heartstring Sampler, I said, I'm going to take this whole week off. And she said, you better, or I'm going to come down there and nail your butt to the chair. And I'm like, well, my family's going to do that first. So thank you for offering to nail my butt to a chair. What do you think, Z? So my plans are to like to not have plans. My plan tomorrow is to sleep in if I can, and then make myself a cup of Nespresso, and maybe have some berries with yogurt and granola. How does that sound? Or make some poached eggs. I like poached eggs. Look through some craft books, because I'd like to do a project this week that is kind of a completable project. I will still work on Walter, and I may work on some other things too. And I'm already slipping into my vacation. I want to look through my craft project books and get an idea for something I could finish to completion this week. Like I made that pumpkin head doll in the fall. That was kind of a weekend project. So I'm looking for something like that. I'll maybe look through my Maggie Bononomy books and see if there's like some kind of a felt wool applique, something that I could do. Oh, hey, this weekend at Primitive Quilts and Projects magazine, Primitive Quilts and Project magazine. I'll put a link below. And now this is the weekend of Mother's Day 2020. So this is only right now. You get a free downloadable $10 download, free $10 download off their download section, and they have 18 pages of them. And there are punch needle projects, there's wool applique projects, there's quilting projects, and there are cross stitch projects. And so you use there's a coupon code that I will put below also. So make sure you put in the coupon code. I believe it's MOM2020 with capital MOM and then 2020. And I'll put that below. And so do that. Sue was saying, like, I feel bad because I feel like you're taking advantage of somebody. And it's like, you know what? It doesn't cost them anything to have you do a download. And it's them advertising like, hey, come look at our downloads that are available. And there honestly are a few there that I'm like, ooh, I might download that one too. And I said, you buy their magazine, you're a customer. So don't feel bad. They want you to come and look and see what they have. They have really cool stuff. There's there's two Maggie Bonanami. There's a little like purse, like a little cool all white, not white, but like kind of wintry white wool purse that you can make. And then there was like a table runnery kind of thing. I don't remember what I downloaded, but it was fun to look and it's fun to pick. And they even had one picture of a quilt hanging over a banister and the whole back wall is samplers, which I was like, ooh, I want those. Right, Z? So do that this weekend. Mother's Day, my plan is I would just love a banana split from the Dairy Queen. That's all I want. That's all I care about is a banana split. I had one for my birthday and it was delicious. So I think I'll do that. And we're not really gardeners, so we don't really do that kind of thing. I have a guy that comes and mows our lawn and he'll trim our bushes and things like that too, which is nice because I hate yard work. I admire people who enjoy it. I wish I enjoyed it and I just don't. I just refer to myself as indoorsy. I just like being inside with my stitching and my crafting and my cats. That's the best place to be. So I hope you guys have a good week. I will check in again. I might do this again. This is fun to sit with you, and maybe I'll just make you sick enough of me that I can go 5 weeks and you'll be like, oh, it's fine if she just be quiet. Be quiet for a while. Right? Well, you guys have a good night, and it was good to see you, and I will talk to you later. Bye.